higher education, even the primary education, and I'm really thankful, and I head off to the organizations like Mittal Foundation and Bharati Foundation, that they are doing great job. They are reaching the NGO like Pratham, who is reaching to the schools in rural areas for mathematics and writing English, because many students are getting high school intermediate pass, but they can't read and write, and they can't write one line. They can't, and you can see what happened in Bihar when the topper of Bihar school examination board, the topper couldn't explain what is sodium, what is so. And a girl was not able to know what is the political science. It is home science or political science. She was not able to understand. So imagine how much corruption is in education. Education has become a business. So many houses are going in business not because of their commitment, because they know that this is the most lucrative area where they can do business. We have to see that how we can bridge that, how we can avoid that one, and how we can bring knowledge, planning, and employment policy. Unless government goes on that level of building policy, I think it will be very difficult. I studied vocational training of Germany, which is very famous, dual vocational training. Whole Europe is following that one. And only I say one line, that vocational training is nothing except Indian Skill Development Program of Pradhan Mantri and Chief Minister. Only thing that government made a policy level understanding that anybody who will be given training in vocational training, they will be given employment by the institutions. I will not go further because we have to listen to our learned speakers, and chairmen and co-chairs would speak as minimum as possible. But I want to set the tone. We have to address all these issues if we want to empower our youth through education. We have to empower our adults also, because 275 million population is illiterate. In spite of all our effort, in spite of all the yojana and planning of the government, now after 70 years of independence, yeah, we have gone only 75% literacy. It is same. We are spending 3.3% of our GDP in India, where Kenya, like a country like Kenya in Africa, spend 7% of the GDP, and they have more than 98% of literacy. India, who want to be guru and address the whole world and go to the moon and other planets, I think most important thing is to educate everybody. And everybody should be at the level of Kerala, where more literacy is more than 99%. So I think let me leave here for the chairman to set the tone for decision and talk, and we should have some time for question and answer also, because we want to listen from you. But key is ethics, moral, character education, how to include in the curriculum and how to make everybody at the same platform. Otherwise, we will leave 2-3 India. One is below poverty line, illiterate, one is highly educated, having $1 million of income. So we have to, it will be disaster, it will be time bomb. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rai. Wonderful comments. So I just wanted to take less than a minute, because I'm not here to speak. I'm here to listen and learn from distinguished speakers we have today. I just wanted to bring up one idea of benchmarking. I'm sure all our professional colleagues here know what the value of benchmarking is. Look at the country Singapore, South Korea. Why they have excelled? Focus on education. Costa Rica, country which in 1949 made a decision, no more army. They have more teachers than the policemen just to handle the traffic issue.
7 to 10 you said, or 5 to 7?
5 to 7 is fine.
5 to 7, okay. So, but if originally was 7 to 10, then I have no objection to that, by the way. I'll talk about empowerment and education, and when I was asked to speak on this issue, the idea which came to my mind that what empowerment could be, which could be achieved through education. And it seems to me, right or wrong, that empowerment through education could only be rational autonomy. So I'll argue for that. Rational autonomy is something which is not mentioned these days, and including social scientists and industry people and management, no one remembers it. So I thought that this is good time to remember a little bit. Madhuji remembered it in a different sense. I'll tell you how. So that's what I'll talk about. Since this morning when I'm thinking of quality, I'm listening about quality of life, and there is a lot of talk about quality of life. I think the quality is being measured since the quality of life is being measured since this morning in terms of
some of the private provision of education also is truly subpar. I'll talk about 6 areas in particular, in no order of importance. I think maybe 1 minute each. There are some other thoughts I have, but I'll just focus on these 6. I think one issue we have as a school system is it's a way too fragmented system. We have 1.5 million schools today. About 400,000 of them are private schools, 1.1 million government schools. It's very hard to bring about reform in such a fragmented system, and particularly where the unit size is so small. I mean, if you look at the number of single teacher or dual teacher schools, it's very hard to bring about reform in such a system. I understand the fact that we have a large rural population and schools need to be dispersed. But if you look at countries around the world, China had 650,000 schools. It has consolidated down to 375,000. I think if you do the exercise in India and you...
So, my misfortune that I'm following 2 brilliant speakers and people who understand education so well. Rohit spoke about gave us a lot of food for thought. Ashish gave a clear plan as to what needs to be done and what can be done, in a true corporate style, with a full understanding of problems of education in India. I was asked to present a project that we are doing of a Bharti Foundation, so I'll try and do it as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, and also leave some thoughts with all of you. So the foundation, 2000 was when it started, with a clear vision, working in rural India to transform lives through education. Some of our programs, I'm sure you can read that, but clearly around education is the Satyabharti School program. These are the schools that we run ourselves in villages. A quality support program where we work with government schools to bring about holistic improvement in quality. Currently, we are working in 4 states, including J&K and Telangana, 5 states actually. And with full schools, we've signed an MOU for around 150 schools. We're working with government teachers. In our schools, obviously, it's our teachers. And the third one, which I'm going to talk about, is the Satyabharti Learning Centers, which is, we are running remedial centers in government schools, in villages, to bring back out-of-school children, identify, bring them back, put them through remedial programs, and mainstream them. Higher education programs that we run, the sanitation program for which we got an award, the Platinum Award in the morning, Swachh Bharat, we're working in rural Ludhiana. And of course, Nyaya Bharti, our latest initiative in Bharti Foundation. Just some figures, you can read that, I won't waste too much time there. Over 1,500 schools that we're working in, impacting over 2,000 villages, many, many children, hopefully making a difference. What Mr. Rai said, be the change. What he quoted Mahatma Gandhi, that's what we're trying to do. And really make a difference, because what Ashish pointed out, education is key. We believe it is key. If we can't fix this, I don't think India will get fixed. This is, clearly making education accessible to underprivileged children in rural India. Again, some figures, 254 schools that we run, 43,000 students.
Of your country, which have led to, the growth and all that that a developed economy should have. What are the 3 things, what are the 3 key points of learning for us? And you know what she said? Education first, second, education, third, education. Yeah. This was the learning that, he wanted us to carry out. And the other thing that I think 2 of the things that he laid stress on, and if we are able to, carry it on in our lives, a lot of what we are achieving, what we are wishing to achieve, we would be able to do so. The first was Tattvamasi. That means consciousness. Whatever policies, whatever frameworks that we are able to lay down will not achieve the results unless the teachers, the students, the administrators, the people who are setting up the institutes are conscious of what they are doing and why they are doing. And the second very important thing he said,
Our heart and mind. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. It was a very informative session. And we all talked about bringing change to the education system if we address all the issues. I think after listening to all the speakers, we are sure that we are in safe hands. Our education system is in safe hands. The process has already been started. So with that, I think we'll close the session. I'll request Chair Sir to hand over the mementos to speakers. Manu sir. Manu sir to Ashish Dhawan sir.
Half a second for the color.
Sir. Manu sir.
Keep in touch.
Rohit Thankar sir.
And if you have any cards, and we can
Continue to connect with you.
Sir. Mr. Markande, please to
Dr. Rai.
Doctor.
So we divide it up.
Yes, sir. Sir. May I request Vipin sir to hand over the mementos to our chair and co-chair.
let us share.
Thank you. Well, my pleasure.
Each other. Vipin sir.
Vipin ji, आपको.
काम ख्याल रखते हैं कि
Yes.
thank you so much.
Will you give me your card?
ख्याल रखें तभी ना आगे से